All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, man, information coming out still about in the aftermath of the Errol Spence Jr. Terence Crawford negotiations debacle. This time, Dan Raphael letting people know some information that really makes Terence Crawford look like he was not negotiating in good faith with Errol Spence Jr. and it did not and has not wanted to fight Errol for a while before backing out of that fight and has proof. We will talk about what he had to say in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. And in this video, we are going to continue to go over what happened with Errol Spence Jr. Terence Crawford fight falling through. And again, things are coming out that make it look like Terence Crawford never wanted this fight and that he had strung along Errol Spence Jr. for a good amount of time until he could find another option and pretty much use this negotiation as a way to leverage another deal for himself somewhere else. Now, before I get into that, and specifically what Dan Raphael said in a date that he gave that coincides with some comments by Terence Crawford, which in hindsight let you know when that this deal with to fight in Omaha, Nebraska has been done for a while. Now, before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. If you are a longtime subscriber and supporter, thank you so much for your continued support. Really does mean a lot. Thank you so much for the live stream and the live streams, for the super chats and the cash apps, and also the super thanks that you guys can do in the video. As somebody that creates content on a daily basis, it is what allows the channel to continue to put this kind of stuff out. So thank you. All right, or hit the like button if you can't do that. All right, so let's get into this. Dan Raphael, a former reporter for ESPN. He's now an independent reporter, and a guy that has had a lot of information, given some information, didn't pan out, every once in a while, but for the most part, been a very, very solid source in boxing for a long time. Haven't always agreed with his opinion. However, definitely somebody that has, that is certified by PBC people as somebody that does get inside information. So specifically, Leonard Ellerby talking about him on Twitter maybe like last week. Now, Dan Raphael is reporting that the contract for Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. had been on the desk of Terence Crawford, the finalized version, which was after Terence Crawford said he needed some revisions done to the contract, that contract was on Terence Crawford's desk, had been sent to Terence Crawford no later than October 6th. Now, what is significant about that? That was before information was put out by Mike Coppinger and reported by multiple other YouTube outlets that Terence Crawford was waiting on a response from Errol Spence Jr. Now, if you have the report and had it on October 6th, and you on the 15th and the 16th of the month, your people never Terence Crawford directly, just people around him who incidentally wind up being the same people that are negotiating the second fight, the other fight with him, are saying that he hasn't heard back. That draws into question that October 16th, that October 6th date, or whether or not you actually are just sitting on a contract after getting everything that you wanted and then still refusing to sign. Now, also, not coincidentally, the date October 6th, I was like, wow, there's something else that happened on October 6th, didn't it? Yep. Terence Crawford put out a tweet, and the tweet said, a lot of people think my hometown is too small, but they're the people you call when you want to shake stuff up. I'm paraphrasing, right? He's put that out on October 6th. When he already had that contract in place, and then the fight winds up 10 days later, a little less than 10 days later, excuse me, that was 10 days, 20 days later. So 10, 15 days later, it's announced that he's fighting in Omaha, Nebraska. So Dan Raphael speculates, and he says, look, man, when I heard that, and the fact that there was no promoter for the fight, the information that came out for the fight didn't have, the flyer or the press announcement they had, didn't have a promoter on it, didn't have all kind of different stuff on it. He says, my BS meter just went berserk, right? Now, anybody with reason, with a calendar in front of them will tell you that stuff doesn't match up. First, it takes you a long, you're not going to get a venue, get an opponent, get your money agreed to, all of that stuff, at the snap of a finger. This stuff was being done probably for months. Now, other people had said that this negotiation started 2 months ago, right? I would suspect that it sounds like it's been 3 months ago or 2 or 3 months ago. But regardless, there's also a chance that he was saying the entire time, not a chance. Terence Crawford has been saying the whole time that, he doesn't need the fight. No, the fight may happen, but the fight is going to, but it'll happen down the road. All kind of different things he had been saying in the media to point people to the fact that he may not want this fight and he may be pulling out of the fight. I did over the course of several months, I did a video pretty much every time he said it. And now there's other YouTube channels that are putting out the same information again. But the fact remains that Terence Crawford has never sounded committed to that, never been fully committed to that fight. And then he winds up negotiating for a second fight at the same time. It really does appear that the only person that was really serious about that Terence Crawford fight is Errol Spence. And even Errol Spence Jr. was looking sideways at cameras a while ago, like, man, you're going to find out at the end of this who really wants this bout and who does not want this bout. If this bout doesn't go through, it ain't going to be me. It's going to be him. It's going to be those guys over there that's not trying to make the fight. And it turns around that is the exact case and exactly what happened. And, to a certain extent, I don't just blame Terence Crawford, but just people in general for not listening clearly to what Terence Crawford was saying and just blowing off everything that Terence Crawford said. I would do videos about it and say, hey, look, Terence Crawford just said, he's this fight may happen down the road. What does down the road mean? And he said, I mean real soon. And now it turns into something else, but a whole bunch of people are just out there saying, no, you're just hating on Terence. No, take what Terence actually said and believe what Terence actually said is what Terence actually means. He was also on the Porterway podcast and said the same thing. And this thing manifests in this capacity, in this fashion. So I just don't want to hear it, man. Terence Crawford is the one and the reason that this fight did not happen. Terence Crawford did not want to fight Errol Spence Jr. He can say that he wanted it. I wanted it more than Errol did. Errol didn't negotiate another fight at the same time. And all this other stuff, you get some of y'all come to my comment section with saying, well, why didn't Errol say anything? Errol did say something. Well, why isn't Errol ever at the negotiation table? Why isn't he sitting down? He's got a manager sitting at the negotiation table. That's the guy that's negotiating for him, Al Heyman. Every fight that he's had for 28 fights is negotiated by Al Heyman. You all know who's going to negotiate. You're saying that it's Errol Spence Jr.'s responsibility to call Terence Crawford personally and beg him to make the fight when you guys are sitting with the manager. It's just ridiculous, man. But anyway, it is what it is. We're not going to get this fight. We're going to get some garbage with David Avancian, and then after that, I guess it's going to be after that, who cares about it fight takes place. It's going to be time again to start the fake I want to fight Errol machine again. Jump out there in the ocean and talk about I'm looking for big fish. Well, you found a tadpole. You know what I'm saying? Like, you were looking for big fish and you pulled out a tadpole. That's a frog, man. That's not even a fish. It's ridiculous. But anyway, it is what it is. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.